Peace, love, and light. My name is Sarah. I'm a medicine woman studying herbalism, breath work, yoga, and so much more. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about different ways and mediums in which you can extract medicinal properties from plants, flowers, and roots. So if you are interested in that, make sure to watch this video. This is the third video that I made regarding herbalism, so if you haven't seen the other two, I will leave them over here in the corner. So in another video, I'll go more into depth about herbs, their constituents, their properties, their makeup, the medicinal parts used of the plant, but that's a little bit more intermediate. Today, we're just going to keep it very basic and cover some of the ways that you can extract these medicinal properties from plants. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a very simple definition of teas, decoctions, menstruums, and oils. Before I get into this video, I want to say if you feel called and guided to, you're more than welcome to head over to my website where I share a bunch of herbalism and tips and so many resources. So if you feel guided to and led to, you're more than welcome to check out my shop, and I have herbs in stock, as well as I will be selling my tinctures, tonics. I also have dried herbs and so much more. And lastly, I have a newsletter where I share so much knowledgeable information, and I will have a herbal ebook coming out soon for those who sign up with their email from my website. So you don't have to purchase anything. The ebook is going to be totally free, and if you want to sign up now with your email, once the ebook is finished, I will be sending out the ebook to you guys. So let's go ahead and get into medicinal herbal oils. Infused herbal oils are great because they can be used topically on the skin and ingested. So of course you always want to do your research, but take for instance lavender oil and dandelion flower oil. So you want to add those to a carrier oil such as like olive oil, which is typically my preference, and you want to let that sit for about the upside of 4 weeks. And once you've done that, the medicinal properties should be extracted, and you can apply both of those to sore, achy muscles. However, I would suggest if you're going to be starting this journey and you're new to herbalism, I would suggest getting to know each flower on its own first before combining them, just because you want to know the different actions it has on your body. Calendula oil would also be great because it is good for the skin. It's hydrating, it's nourishing, it's antiseptic as well, so if you have acne, it helps with that. And calendula is just a great nourishing herb and oil for the skin. So medicinal teas are great when you feel the oncoming of an ailment, say like a cold or fever, you can make a medicinal tea. So medicinal teas are great for short-term use. You can also do long-term use. They have a wide range of potential uses, and each herb is completely different, but with teas, they're great for short-term and potentially long-term as well. So you make a medicinal tea with the medicinal parts of the plant. For instance, the leaves, the flowers, or sometimes the root. But that's actually the next one we're going to get into, decoctions. Decoctions are used for roots. So decoctions are used with roots because they take a longer time to release their medicinal properties, because typically you're working with a root bark, so they're definitely harder, and it takes longer for them to release all of their yummy, well, in some cases yummy, medicinal would be a great word to use, to release all of their medicinal constituents, because if you do a tea, which is typically less time, like 5 or so minutes, you're definitely not going to have released all of those constituents within the bark. So decoctions are better used, and they take a little bit longer. I would say on the upside of probably 20 definitely the upside of 20 minutes. It really depends on what herb you're working with, as I've said before. And we'll go in more into depth about different herbs and barks and so much more in another video. So now we're going to get into menstruums. Menstruums are what we refer to when we're talking about an herb that is extracting in a solvent. So a menstruum can be a tonic, a tincture, apple cider vinegar, or a glycerin. Those are the main ones that are used. So each of these 4 solvents have very different properties, and sometimes as you go and as you learn, you'll notice that you'll prefer to use a tincture versus a tea. Tinctures are the strongest, and teas are great, like I said, for short-term use and immediate use, whereas tinctures take longer to extract, but we're going to get into that. So, alcohol tinctures are great for long-term use. Everybody is different. Me personally, I would use them no longer than 6 months consistently, and throughout a 7-day week, I would take maybe 1 to 2 days off. And of course, this also depends on the tincture, the herb that is infused, and so on and so forth. When creating a tincture, you have to let the herb sit for at least 4 to 6 weeks, preferably longer than that, before you extract the herb and are able to really use it. Some herbalists say let it sit for a minimum of 2 weeks before you use it, but personally, I would prefer to let it sit for at least 4 weeks and then use it. So as you grow as a herbalist, you will really understand that this is a sacred practice that is different to everyone, and that it's not traditional medicine, whereas it's just addressing the topical issues. And no, this is a sacred practice. This is for people who want a more natural, holistic way of healing, but who also are interested in really truly connecting deeply with these plants and working with these plants and honoring these plants, and so on and so forth. The second in our menstruums is apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is wonderful because it has added health benefits, since it's already been through a process of fermentation. So you can use this as a great menstruum to extract herbs. It's also good for 2 to 6 months. We're nearing down to our last 2, and I want to say, if you made it this far, congratulations. I'm so grateful for that you're here and that you're experiencing this with me and learning, and I just really appreciate you. Also, if you feel guided to, make sure to subscribe, like this video. It helps my channel a lot. It helps me grow, and it helps encourage me to share this information on YouTube. So please smash that like button and subscribe. Okay, so glycerins. Glycerins are great and nourishing for the body, but they're also very good for children who can't necessarily take a tincture or a wine tonic, which we'll get into next. So glycerins are wonderful for children, and say you have like a sore throat or something, they're very nourishing in that sense on the throat. So glycerins are another wonderful option. Lastly, we have tonics. Tonics are great at tonifying the system, and they can also be used as a wine tonic, which isn't quite as strong as a vodka or brandy tincture. The wine tonics are a little bit easier on the system, but they are still very impactful, very wonderful. And typically I prefer a wine tonic versus a vodka tincture, just because those are very powerful, very potent, and if you're someone who isn't used to alcohol, they definitely got a little kick to them. So wine tonics are absolutely amazing and such a great choice if you want to choose this to work with. Also, tonics help to support the body's vitality and natural health. Okay, so I got a question for you guys. What video do you want to see next? Do you want to see 5 herbs and their medicinal properties, Or would you prefer to see videos that go more into depth into all the topics that I covered in this video, with each video having its own individual, or each topic having its own individual video? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I love you, I appreciate you, and thank you for showing up for yourself, for me, and for yourself, really. This journey is a sacred path to walk, and I really hope that you get everything that you need out of it. I always want to remind you that it is always in your best interest to really learn and work with these herbs. You're not going to get the experience you want without hands-on learning, so you definitely need to go out and collect some herbs. I gave you some resources in the first video, so if you haven't seen it, please make sure to check it out. I gave you a resource for an encyclopedia with so much knowledge. It'll also be linked in the description, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thank you for supporting me, my channel, my message, and my knowledge. Alright guys, have a blessed day.